Mark from the States, Mark from the States, it's Mark from the United States.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Mark from the States. How are we doing today? I am doing fantastic. I hope you are as well. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hopefully you had a wonderful weekend. I had a great weekend. I've been off for a few days. Easter, of course, if you celebrate that. Hopefully you have or had a wonderful day. Mine was great. Spent with family and friends. Actually had a really wonderful weekend. Busy. I'm at work Friday afternoon. It's about 2 o'clock or so. My wife calls me and she says, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" Yeah, like she doesn't already know, but she says, "We're going to see AC/DC." She just buys tickets for that evening down at the Rose Bowl, which is in Pasadena. And man, so get off work at about 4:30, hop in the car, go on down and see AC/DC. It was awesome. Had a lot of fun. I had some video, but I'm not going to show it because it's kind of jumpy and stuff like that, so I didn't bear to put it on here. But awesome show. They're old. They've been around a long time, but still awesome show. Still a lot of fun. And then of course Saturday we had sports and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a good weekend. Good little break. I'm tired though. Man, it just seems like just been on the go for the last 5 days. But we are back, and dun 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 dun, new channel. Yes, we have a new channel today. Martin Zero is the name of the channel. Martin over there has been gracious enough to allow us to learn and see new things from his videos, and so I'm excited to dive in. He is just one of those guys who goes around and shows you historical places and just, stuff off the beaten path. Maybe not off the beaten path, but stuff that's not normally you see tons of videos of, which is what I love. Seeing all these things that I have never heard about. Today's video is the hidden history of Manchester's grandest building. I think it's called the Refugee Assurance, I think is what it's called. This is, of course, come requested. So, Andy, sorry that this was requested a while ago and I totally spaced, so I apologize for the delay. But yeah, I'm excited to get into it. So I encourage you to come over here and sit with me on this big fake couch. What else? Did you guys have a good weekend? Let me know if you did and what you did. Before I get into my disclaimer, live stream Sunday. We're going to do a live stream on Sunday. Yes, it's the end of the month. And so looking forward to that. Hopefully you can all come by and stop by and say hello. If you have one like and one subscription today, please give it to Martin Zero and that channel. It's really important that you support the original content creator. Puts a lot of work into his videos, and he's been doing it for a while, and so I encourage you to get over there and support him. And the links, of course, will be below. There's one for his channel, one for this video. So I get over there, watch the video first, come back and watch it with me. Okay, we all ready? All right, let's do it. Here we go.
Hello, welcome back to another video. So I'm in Manchester's Refuge Assurance building. It's now a hotel, but it used to be the headquarters of a
Whoa.
large assurance company. And we're going to get a tour round and have a look at this brilliant Edwardian building, sort of late Victorian Edwardian. Some really interesting features in here, so come with me and we'll take a look around this amazing building. Now, although this is a hotel, it used to be one of Manchester's premier financial institutions. I'm going to walk in now. I'm going to show you the sort of like grand entrance, if you like.
Wow. I mean, for a hotel or an insurance, or for financial building, it's pretty lavish. Look at that dome.
So if you wondered about the significance of the horse, and the horse is metal, by the way, basically what it signifies is it sort of goes back to late Victorian Edwardian times. The horse and carriages would have come in here and brought the wealthy clients into the assurance building. This was like a courtyard, so they came in here and they would have disembarked and gone up the stairs there from street level, up the stairs and into the building to do their financial dealings and make their deposits. And it weren't a bank, but they would obviously do lots of financial dealings here.
So they would ride the horses right into the lobby? Or interesting.
At a later date, the domed roof was put on, so now it's actually inside the building. It's the hotel reception. But this used to be, like I say, at one time, a
Well, that makes
courtyard.
sense. And there it is. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Now that glass domed roof was apparently sourced from a Scottish railway station much later on when the building was made into a hotel. There's a bit of a clue over here. There's the old drain pipes.
Drain pipes.
Down. And what I love about the place is the word opulence, sort of like really done to a really high standard. Absolutely fantastic. And as you'll see as we go around the hotel or the building, you'll just see things like this everywhere. It was just done, everything was done to such a grand scale. And I actually feel underdressed in here, to be honest with you. But this is sort of like the ground floor. You can see over there, you can see how that used to be an outside wall. This would have been probably one of the main entrances off the street when the people had disembarked from their carriages and they would have come in here. Beautiful, beautiful chandelier here. This is just typical of the place, this chandelier. It really is. If you're in Manchester, you can just drop in here and you can have a drink, you can have something to eat. So I highly recommend that you come here and take a look at the place. Now this wonderful Baroque building stands on the corner of Oxford Street and Whitworth Street, and it totally dominates the area. It was built between 1891 and 1895, and the architect was Alfred Waterhouse. Now he was also the architect for Manchester Town Hall. It was built for the Refuge Assurance Company. Later extended between 1910 and 1912, and it was Paul Waterhouse, Alfred Waterhouse's son, that was the architect on the later extension, and he was the one that put in the large clock tower that you've seen in this video that dominates Oxford Street. It was further extended again in 1932. Now you can see from this rear view of the building the different aspects to
Oh, sure.
the extension. You'll see these sort of
terracotta bricks on the left hand side, and on the right hand side you'll see the much lighter, brighter sort of white tiled bricks. Quite stark contrast apparently between Alfred Waterhouse and his son Paul Waterhouse. Now the Refuge Insurance Company left the building in 1987, and it stood derelict for many a year. But eventually in 1996, £7 million was pumped into the building, and it was turned into a hotel. And since then it's been a hotel, and it really truly is a spectacular building. So
7 million, that's cheap. I would have thought there would be a lot more to convert it into a hotel, but the building itself is pretty remarkable. I mean, it's got all the history. Being a financial institution and then converting to a hotel, like a high-end hotel. So the decor, you imagine, probably stays the same a lot. But yeah, it's pretty nice looking. I'd like to know how many of you have been there or even knew about it.
So all good tours start down in the basement and work upwards, and that's where we are at the moment, in the basement of the hotel. This used to be the dining area for the assurance company workers, and this dining area, this vast space, has since been transformed into a ballroom. So let's take a look inside this amazing space.
It's like they just had a party, or they're going to have a party. Look at the ceiling. Wow. Looks like they're getting ready to have a celebration some sort. Got the flag.
So this is the staff canteen for the assurance workers, Edwardian style. You can see the vastness and the grandness of this building that would have housed all the people at dinner time having the lunch. And amazingly, it's got a stage, can you believe? Now, I asked why a canteen or a dining room has a stage, and I've been told that basically at dinner time they put on entertainment for the workers, which is incredible, isn't it? Absolutely amazing to think that they did that back then. These little doors that you see here apparently go into an orchestra pit that is underneath the stage. Again, I'm just completely blown away by the fact that you could come down here for your lunch and be entertained by an orchestra at dinner time. Amazing stuff.
Now, the dining area protocol stated that men and women should sit separately on their lunch breaks, and they were given waiter service down here.
We're just preparing for an event at the moment, which is why all the flags are out and everything on the floor. I think my grandma would refer to this place as a very grand place, and she'd probably put her best bib and tucker on just to go for a cup of tea. So while we're down here at basement level, we can just go through this door here. I'm very, very excited about something we're going to see. So let's go through the door. I want to show you something.
Whoa.
Look where we are. The River Medlock.
It's wild that the river just flows.
We're down by the River Medlock. I have seen this site so many times.
Flows like right up to the building like
bridge
that.
There, and we're down next to the River Medlock. This is fantastic. I almost want to get a crack out a cup of tea because obviously I'm doing the Medlock journey. Not done it yet this year, need to carry on. But let's look up this way. If you look there, you see Duke's Tunnel.
Duke's Tunnel.
And you'll see the Medlock there. And of course, in a former video, I talked about Pierre Adulfe Vallet painting scenes around Manchester. He was Lowry's teacher and he painted some wonderful scenes around Manchester. And one of the scenes he painted was just here. I'll show you, just beyond off this bridge here now. He stood up there on Oxford Road, Oxford Street, and he painted the view down at the side of the Medlock. And I've stood up on Oxford Street many times before, looked down here, never thought I would actually get into an Adulfe Vallet painting, but this is what we're looking at, amazing stuff.
That green bridge there you see in the distance is Manchester's Oxford Street. In 1912, Adulfe Vallet stood on that bridge and painted the River Medlock and what he saw, and you'll see from the following painting that he had a knack of giving Manchester a wonderful hazy gloom.
Oh, geez. Yeah, it's interesting that there's no like river banks. It's just like a canal, if you will, right with the buildings. You know what I mean? You don't see that very often where I'm from. Public bar, here we go. But yeah, the architecture, it's lavish,
bar area
you know.
of the hotel used to be the typing pool. In this 1912 picture, you can see that there would have been hundreds of clerks down here typing away important documents. There was about 2,000 people employed here.
So just out here through these doors is what they call the tradesman's entrance, if you like. Well, it used to be the tradesman's entrance. It's now an amazing sitting area, but I'll just show you out here. Sort of like a gap between two buildings.
Oh, look at the
So
arch.
out there,
Nice.
through that sort of gateway you can see there, that's Whitworth Street, and that's where the tradesmen would have come in, the deliveries would have come in into this area here. Another arch that way as well, and that goes to the back of the hotel. The River Medlock is behind there, but it's now this amazing seating area. It's absolutely fantastic.
And this is how it used to look. Goods were brought in off Whitworth Street into this area between the buildings and offloaded here, and down at that very far end is like a storage area.
So can you imagine back in the day, the wealthy investors placing deposits here? I mean, it wasn't a bank, it was an assurance company, but there must have been a lot of money changing hands. And down here in the basement, we have a safe room. So just through this door now, you can see the little the iron grill there. They've got some old original safes, so let's take a look.
Oh, look at that, like a big old vault. Yeah, look at those doors. Look at the locking mechanism. That's so wild. No one's getting in there, huh? And then individual safes in there. Wow.
So obviously now used as a storeroom. Look at this. Look at the safes here. Edwardian safes. And that door is massively heavy just to close. Again, it's actually metal, but it's got that wood finish on it for, remember, making it look lovely and ornate was priority back in those days. And this is, nowadays we'll probably make this out of grey steel, but they actually tried to make it look wood. Look at the handles on that, and you can imagine the amounts of cash held and bonds held in here. The old notes, in here, and look at these iron bars, these bars here. There was no way you were getting in here back in the day. Absolutely amazing. So second floor now, and more safes.
That was cool. I really appreciate that they kept everything, you know. Really cool.
Here, but look at these for safes. They're sort of like a posh wardrobe, if you like. Wood finish, absolutely beautiful. You won't get safes like this anymore.
No.
Behind there, and I'm not allowed to open them, is obviously a metal safe. But look how ornate they made them. Like I say, look like a posh wardrobe, if you like.
Yeah, it does look like a locker room, changing room.
And those element to them here with these big
has
metal
that feel,
hinges on.
but yeah.
Now, these are on the second floor. We're not sure if this was originally a safe room. These possibly have been moved here, these safes.
Would not want to do that.
History of the hotel, it's difficult to place exactly what has happened over the years, because obviously it's been an assurance building and then a hotel and then owned by another company as a hotel. And again, if you look at the tiling on the walls in here, just amazing. Look at this. They just don't do it like this anymore, do they? Girders on the ceiling, so it's sort of inclined to me to be a kind of a strong room, but we're not quite sure. But I wanted to bring you here and just show you these other additional safes that are on this floor as well.
Okay, so now we're heading to the grand staircase with the directors of the company.
I'm going to go back, but it might be more of a I don't want to say safety deposit boxes and stuff like that. Maybe more of individual accounts have their holdings in there, or whatever they have, needing safe storage, you know. But it'd be interesting to see or to know if they did actually move them there. Boy, would that be tough to do, especially back then, to move those saves. Things probably weigh so much. But I'm loving this place. It's funny how you will drive by somewhere, maybe your whole life you live in Manchester. Maybe you didn't know the history of the building. You've always known it to be this hotel, or you knew it as a building that just was standing derelict for a while after the original, the refuge assurance has gone away, or you knew it back in the day, or knew of the original owners, but just didn't really know much of the history, since it's a financial building. It's not like unless you actually are doing business there, you're not going to, hey, let's go hang out. So it's just interesting how something right out in the open can have all this, incredible things here. It's really cool. It's neat that he's able to get such access.
Okay, so now we're heading to the grand staircase with the directors of the company would ascend the stairs to the boardrooms above. There are stories of former employees coming back and almost feeling nervous about going out onto this staircase when they're visiting when it was a hotel, because they knew as mere clerks back in the day they were never allowed in this area.
Okay, so while we're on the direct
staircase,
there's something
pretty
I want
high
to
up.
show you here. There's actually 2 dints in the staircase. Now, there is a story behind these dints. There's one there.
Something fell on it.
Close up, and there's one down here, just where my finger is. Let me tell you the story.
Now, what would an old building be without a ghost? And the refuge assurance building apparently has got its own ghost, and it's that of a heartbroken war widow who jumped to her death from the top floor of the staircase and landed on the marble floor down below.
Oh gosh.
Not sure which war, and I'm not sure whether those dents where she was supposed to have hit the handrail on the way down are actually from that poor lady.
It's
But
pretty high
that's
up.
the story, and that's the ghost that apparently haunts this area of the hotel.
So this beautiful wood.
I'm going to throw out my own theory. I think they're moving furniture, and a piece of furniture fell. Whether it be a table, a lamp, whatever. I don't know. This is just, I'm thinking something was being carried up there and fell. I mean, that thing goes up pretty high up there. But we'll stick with his story because it gives it more shock value.
Panelled room is the director's lounge. Absolutely amazing. Floor to ceiling windows, as you can see. Wonderful. Look at this fireplace. Oh my God. Absolutely fantastic fireplace. This is where the director of the company hung out. Now, you came here, you were either the best of the best or the worst of the worst, because you either came here to be promoted or to be sacked. So, you know, not many people saw this. Absolutely blown away. But as we go through this door here, this is now the director's suite, and you can imagine many a high-level meeting in this grand. I keep using that word, but it just fits the whole place. This grand room, incredible, absolutely. The money they must have spent, the company must have been doing so well, as you can imagine. They have just lavished money on this place. But don't forget, at the same time, this was the style, late Victorian, Edwardian times, just to do things and employ craftsmen, and just to do things well and to do it beautifully. And this is what I love about these places and being able to get access to these places, because this just doesn't happen anymore. Just look at this fireplace. It's akin to something you see in a castle, isn't it?
He's not wrong. A lot of money. A lot of money was probably going through that place. Look at those windows. It's just everywhere. There's just little details everywhere.
So, we're allowed a sneak peek at one of the rooms that we're going to go and have a look in now in the hotel. It's not a typical room because all the rooms are different. But this is like what they call a mini suite. So I'll just show you in here now.
There's a mini suite.
Lovely little bathroom there. I'd kill for a bathroom like that. Amazing, isn't it? Beautifully done. Proper in keeping with the sort of Victorian Edwardian style. So this is the bedroom. Again,
Nice.
unusual in that it's like in a very old building, and this obviously used to be an assurance building, but you've got your two double beds, traditional old phone there on the side, and of
The
course
red
the
phone.
big massive windows there. But one of the things for me is to look out this window and see the view, because it's a view we don't often get to see in Manchester. We're looking over Oxford Road Station. I'll just show you now.
So looking out the window, you can see the Salisbury pub there, which is that red brick building. That area used to be the
Love it.
London Little Island, and then of course you've got Oxford Road Station.
So we're out on the little balcony now. We're actually above reception area where the horse was that I showed you at the beginning of the video. We're up here with the pigeons, it's amazing. And there is the clock tower, absolutely fantastic. So it's great to get so near to it.
Now if we just take a look at the stunning detail on that clock face, you'll see the two R's either side for refuge assurance, and as we zoom in, the 1, the 3, the 6 and the 9 are a B symbol, obviously the symbol of Manchester and its industriousness back in the day.
Huh. I wonder how many people notice that. It's kind of remarkable. Just the designs,
the bricks are astounding.
Decorative.
The brickwork is astounding. Obviously these are some of the billion bricks that built Manchester, and here are some of them in the Refuge Assurance building. It's just a privilege to be up here. I'll stop talking now and I'll show you some of the architecture. So one of the nice little things about being up here in this sort of rooftop area is there's a little VIP suite up here, sort of like a little VIP smoking area. And the gentleman that's shown us around has told us tales about a few of the famous people that have been up here who will remain nameless. I'm not allowed to tell you, but nothing bad or anything, but there's been quite a few famous names up here enjoying the facilities and having a quick. So there you go, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed our tour of this wonderful building that was the former Refuge Assurance building in Manchester. We've decided to stay and have a bit of a burger, some chips and a bit of a glass of Prosecco. All a bit sophisticated for me, and normally used to wearing waders and walking in the river. But that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you very soon in the next video. Bye for now.
That was cool. I enjoyed that. Thank you. Thank you so much, Martin, for allowing us to see this. Is first time for me. I'm curious to know how many of you have seen this, knew about this, been there, eaten there, stayed there. Like I had mentioned earlier in the video, it's one of those, probably focal points of the city way back in the day. And just as time has gone, it's just been, I truly appreciate the fact that they've kept a lot of it original. I love the safes and the vault down there. I just find that to be fascinating too. It's just really cool that they've just and turned it into a hotel so everybody can enjoy it. I mean, it seems like it's just was a natural progression going from this financial building that apparently was doing very well, and made it into a real high-end hotel. The rooms are nice, sure, but I imagine that a lot of plumbing was added to be able to now have all these bathrooms, but it's just interesting. And I look at that River Medlock, was it? Just how life, how progress, but the water is always going to be there, and you have these buildings. It's something I don't see very often. We've done videos on canals and so on, but there's banks generally, but they do go through cities and towns and it's, so it's not something I haven't seen. I just don't see it here where I live. That's kind of what I was talking about. But it's just interesting how it just goes right through the city, and it's just the sides of the river are the buildings, just fascinating. And I'm sure there were many boats going up and down that river. It didn't look very big at that point. Maybe it was low tide, but maybe it fills up even more at other times. But you can just kind of imagine that, transporting goods and people and whatnot. Just yeah, a wonderful looking building. And if you're in Manchester, why not stop in for a cocktail, right? And some food. Look good. But I'm excited to explore Martin's channel. So thank you for the suggestion. And thank you to Martin again for allowing us to add you to the family, my friend. Thank you so much. I hope everybody's happy, healthy, and safe. I'm curious to know how many of you have known about this or been there or stayed there or eaten there or anything like that. Or for those of you who grew up in Manchester or around Manchester, what are your earliest memories of this building? I imagine earlier in the, back in the day, it really stood out as a kind of like one of the landmarks of the city. Now you see modernization has creeped up on it, and it's sort of blending in now, but it's still got this very unique and distinct look. I love the red brick. Just looks. It looks. I mean, like I said, it looks like they never batted an eye at expense when constructing this building. They put a lot of money in the construction of this building. So, I hope everybody's happy, healthy, and safe. Right? Live stream this Sunday. Not sure of the time yet, but I'll be setting that up here in the next day or so. So stay tuned for that, and we will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. All right, bye-bye.
Mark from the States, Mark from the States, it's Mark, and he's from